What is up, guys? It's Swimmer here, and I'm back again today with something a little bit different. So today, instead of doing some matches, I'm actually going to be doing a preview of Cresselia. So as you may or may not know, this week on Friday, we should get limited special research that lets us catch a Cresselia with grass knot. And so this is really interesting because one, it will give everybody easy access to a Cresselia below 1500 CP. So right now, the only way to get a Cresselia below that threshold is to trade with somebody, and preferably someone who's not a very good friend, so that you've got a good chance of your IVs going low enough that it's below that threshold. And that's a lot of Stardust and requires a bit of luck and extra Cresselia to spare. But now that we're going to be able to catch one at level 15, all of that goes out the window, and the exclusive move Grass Knot is going to make it really interesting. So um, for this video, I'm actually going to jump over to PV Poke, and basically PV Poke, if you haven't used it before, is a website that lets you check out some matchups. So you see how all the different Pokemon are rated for the Great League. You can switch to Master League, Ultra League, whatever you want. And so you see, not surprisingly, at the top of the list, you've got Registeel, Azumarill, Altaria. So if we go into some of these, so we can look into exactly how Registeel matches up against different Pokemon. So I have a custom set over here that's just the Great League meta, so it's the top 38 Pokemon in the Great League meta. And we scroll down and we see, okay, Registeel picks up 20 wins, 17 losses. Azumarill do the same thing. Okay, picks up 22 wins, 15 losses. And if you keep going down, you can see, okay, I can see, yeah, it's losing to Meganium, losing to Venusaur, Shiftry, all those grass types, and it picks up wins against, Clefables, Probopass, Wigglytuff, Skarmory, Medicham, Bastiodon, all of these Pokemon. So it's a really helpful tool. And right now, I just want to focus on Cresselia. So Registeel and Azumarill, we saw they picked up 20, 22 wins. Deoxys Defense picks up 24, and Altaria picks up 20. So picking up 20 to 24 or so wins is what the top Pokemon in the Great League are able to do. So if we look now at Cresselia, and I'm going to switch it back to the preferred moveset at the moment, which is Future Sight and Moonblast with Psycho Cut as the fast move. And let's go ahead and hit Battle. And you can see right now Cresselia picks up 18 wins, 19 losses, and 1 draw. And then we can, go down and look at who we pick up the wins and losses against, and sort of look into that in greater detail. So that's all great. What I really want to look at now is, what if we instead have Grass Knot as our second move? So let's go ahead, pick that as the second move, and go ahead and battle. And we see, okay, we get 22 wins and 16 losses. So that is a definite improvement. That's 4 more wins that you're able to pick up with the new moveset, which is really big. So we look at who we're losing to, and not surprisingly, you've got your dark types, Scrafty, Shiftry, Sableye, Umbreon, all of those are dark types. And that's because they're going to be double resisting that counter, and Shiftry in particular is even going to be resisting that Grass Knot. So that's going to be why they're able to win that matchup so strongly. And then Haunter, obviously as a ghost type, is going to deal a lot of damage. And then we see Jirachi, Probopass, Bastiodon, Skarmory, all those steel types winning that matchup because all of these moves, Psycho Cut, Future Sight, Grass Knot, are all resisted by steel. But if we scroll down instead to the matchups that it's able to win, it is able to narrowly beat Altaria, so that is definitely interesting. It beats Frostlass, Dugong, Wigglytuff, Deoxys Defense, Tropius, Clefable, Azumarill, that's a really big one. It beats Hypno, another huge one. Vigoroth, Melmetal even though that's a steel type, it's still able to pick up that matchup. So uh, it's a big long list of Pokemon that it's able to beat. And it's going to be bulky. It's going to be able to survive a long time, so I'm really excited to give this a try. And then what's really interesting is that there's a few different movesets that it can run that make it quite successful. So let's say that you wanted to have some coverage for dark types. Well, in that case, you'd probably go with Moonblast, and then you'd probably switch over your fast move to Confusion so that you still had that psychic damage output. So let's go ahead and simulate that. And we see, again, still 22 wins and 16 losses. And now what's really interesting about that is that, so before we had Haunter as one of the top counters, well, now we have to scroll all the way down here to the very bottom and see, oh, you absolutely win that Haunter matchup convincingly. And that's just because Confusion is dealing so much damage. And Toxicroak basically explodes when you bring in Cresselia. So that's really interesting. And then what's more is that if you instead go with Psycho Cut as the fast move, and keep Moonblast and Grass Knot, let's go ahead and battle. So you can see now we're back down to 18 wins and 20 losses, so this is probably not as good of a move set, but now we have all of those dark types that were previously a big problem. They're not so much of a problem anymore. So we have to scroll down here and we see, okay, Sableye is still a bit of a problem, but it's quite a close matchup. Umbreon is almost a tie. And then those other fighting types like Scrafty and where was Shiftry? Shiftry, you actually end up picking up the win against both of them. So it means that Cresselia is going to have quite a versatile moveset. So there's going to be a lot of different options that you can try, and different movesets will actually perform quite differently against different Pokemon. So probably what I will start with is a Psycho Cut, Future Sight, and Grass Knot moveset. I am going to be able to get the candy for a second move basically right away. I'm at 103 or so Cresselia candy right now. So only about 6 more rare candy need to get invested. You should be able to power one up and teach it a second move for between 112 and 116 candy, depending on your IVs. And I am going to try and get out a video showcasing Cresselia on either Friday night or Saturday, depending on how long the research takes. But yeah, this is a really exciting change, and I think Cresselia with Grass Knot is going to definitely offer some new and interesting opportunities in the Great League. So very much looking forward to that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.